Before I get started, I do want to point out, I do release deck lists of the decks I play before I profile them on my Twitter. I also upload thumbnails of videos I'm about to upload before they even drop. So if you guys want to keep up with all the content before it drops and you want to ask questions before the video comes out, please follow my Twitter. There's a lot of cool stuff there and a lot of dank memes for you lovely people out there who are into that. Without further ado, let's get started. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another video on Screencasters. And today, I'll be going over some new support cards that have been coming out for my decks that I play. And today we'll be going over Cyber Dragons and all the new support that came out recently. Let's start with Cyber Dragon Vier, or Vier, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But he's a level 4 light machine, so he's searchable with Repair Plant, as well as Emergency Cyber. So that's pretty cool. Basically, if you normal or special summon a Cyber Dragon, you can summon this guy from your hand in defense mode, and then each Cyber Dragon you control gains 500 attack and defense. So basically, he leads you into a Cyber Dragon Zeger, leads you into a Link monster, a generic Link 2. So the ideal play is normal summoning Core, getting the search, summoning this guy. Then you'll be able to go into Seeger, you might be able to go into Clifford Genius. It really depends on how you feel, whether you're going first or second. This guy is pretty alright, he is searchable. I do recommend playing him at 1 or 2 because he doesn't really do anything other than Link Fuel. You can't really use him to make Nova or Infinity because he is level 4 sadly. But honestly, he's pretty alright, and he's a common, so he's very easy to get a hold of. Next up is Cyber Dragon Hertz. It is a level 1 light machine, so it's following the theme of the deck of being searchable by Emergency Cyber as well as Repair Plant. Its name becomes Cyber Dragon around the field and graveyard, standard effect. If this card is special summoned, you can make this card level 5 until the end of this turn. Also, if you use that effect, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except machine monsters. The other effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one other Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now, the first effect about being level 5 is pretty much irrelevant. You're never really going to be using that. This thing is basically there as another machine dupe target because its name is Cyber Dragon. So just like Core, if you want, you can normal summon it, activate Machine Dupe, and get 2 free level 5s from your deck for free. This card, I would play it at 3. It's pretty much another Machine Dupe target, so why not? It's pretty good. It's searchable. I would play it at 3. It's just another good Cyber Dragon. And because of this card, you can play 1 for 1. The machine restriction isn't too bad on the first effect, but sometimes you do want to go into your nightmares to get rid of problematic monsters. So it really is up to you if you want to activate that first effect, but I still recommend this being a 3-0 because of the utility it has, and because it lets you play Machine Dupe at 3, I mean, why not? Before I go over the promo card, I do want to go over Cyber Pharaohs in case anybody's running this abomination. Basically, you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing a machine monster. Once per turn, you can fusion summon a machine monster, machine fusion from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as materials. But the main effect that people play this for whatever reason, is if your fusion monster is destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add 1 power bond from your deck to your hand. No, do not play this card. It is abysmal. It's bad. Basically, if your fusion monster is destroyed, it's probably your opponent's turn, so the idea behind this is, oh, I get power bond, I could use it next turn. But, like, the way the deck works is if you have power bond already in your deck, the deck is OTK or bust, so if your fusion kind of craps on you, you usually don't have resources to make another fusion the next turn. And definitely it's not because of lack of fusion spells. If we have to, we would run polymerization, but we got better options. So yeah, this card is way too situational. Do not run it. It's bad. You don't need power bond that much. I'd rather hard draw it than search it with this abysmal method. Next up, we got the promo card, another level 1, ironically. It is Cyber Dragon Napster, whatever. This card becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in graveyard, standard stuff. You're going to use one of its effects per turn. You can discard one other monster, special summon this card from your hand, pretty much like Galaxy Soldier. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one machine in your graveyard with 2100 attack or defense, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for rest of turn except for machines. I guess one cool thing you could do with this card is revive Cyber Dragon Seeger, and then I think you could go into a Link 3 with that play. I'm not entirely sure. I have to test that. But The reason you run this card is because it's basically your 4th, 5th, and 6th Galaxy Soldier. It doesn't replace Galaxy Soldier, because Soldier is a level 5, so it helps you go into Infinity, which is really good and helps protect your plays. It also sets up the grave, just like this thing does. This thing's almost always live, too, which is really good. It does lock you out into machines only, and I'm not entirely hurt by that, but sometimes, as I said before, you do have to go into your nightmares to help clear the way of your opponent's board to make safer plays. But Naxter's really good. I would play it at 3. Pretty good card, I would say. As for the new fusion, Cyber Eternity Dragon, it has a really long effect. It's basically a more defensive fusion monster. You're not really going to be going into this. Rampage is still the superior option. But if you want to know its effect, if you have a machine fusion monster in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by card effects, so it's like a big tank. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, you can special summon one Cyber Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It doesn't say Cyber Dragon monster. I would really liked it to have said that. It would have been really nice. You could probably revive Nova in that case, and then you get a free Infinity off that. But you can banish this card from your graveyard, and then this turn, the turn you do that, your opponent cannot target fusion monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So this is mainly for a fusion build of the deck. That is the weaker build between the XYZ Infinity one and the fusion build, the Power Bond OTK build. It also goes against how the Power Bond OTK build works, because that deck is just you go to your fusions and you OTK for days. This is more of a defensive thing, like have this on the field and then OTK. I don't know. It's probably, the way it's worded, it's supposed to be like Cyber Dragon Infinity, but for the other side of the deck, which is the fusions. Protect the fusions so they can do their stuff. But it's not nearly as potent as Infinity. It's not as easy to summon as Infinity is. But if you want to run it, it's fine. It's not too bad. But I feel like because of the resources you put into this thing, you would rather go into Rampage, in my opinion. But it's alright. For the Link monster, this big boy, Cyber Dragon Seeger, I would play him at 1, honestly. 2 is too much, because extra deck space is incredibly tight in Cyber Dragons. But what makes this guy really good is the fact that you only need 1 is because you can revive it with Nova, and then you can Link climb with it, which is pretty neat. And its arrows works if it's in the main monster zone too, so it's really great. It just takes 2 machine monsters, including a Cyber Dragon, which the same way you make Clifford Genius, honestly. Its name is Cyber Dragon while on the field in the graveyard, which is really good. But during each battle phase, if this card does not declare an attack, it's a quick effect. You can target one machine monster you control at 2100 or more attack. For the rest of this turn, that monster gains 2100 attack and defense, and neither player takes battle damage from attacks involving this card. The way it's worded, I assume it means this copy of itself and not the monster you're boosting, but it's pretty good. It's basically to get over big things. It's kind of like what Nova does, where it banishes a Cyber Dragon, so it's alright. I still would only recommend 1. This thing's hardly ever going to get banished. They usually don't target Seeger. They usually wait for the Infinity and solemn it. They usually don't solemn Seeger, because Seeger isn't too big of a problem. But Seeger is good. I recommend him at 1 because the extra deck space is very tight. For the new spells, we got Cyber Rev System. You can special summon one Cyber Dragon from your hand or graveyard. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. Unpopular opinion, I play this card at 1 in my current build. The reason I play it at 1 is it's easily searchable off core, as most things are. The cannot be destroyed by card effects is neat, but it doesn't special summon a Cyber Dragon monster. That's what really makes me not like this card too much. Because that would be really great if you could special summon a Nova from your graveyard. It can't be destroyed by card effects, and then you could just get Infinity off 1 card, which would be really great. But this card has to be a specific Cyber Dragon, so if it's in the graveyard, it could be any of your guys besides Nova. It could bring back Seeger, which is alright, but I really would have liked this thing to bring back Nova. That would have been really powerful. But you only need 1. I don't find myself resolving multiples. Most of the good machines you play already special summon themselves from the hand. Core summons himself from the graveyard, which is amazing. But this thing's just a 1-up in my opinion. It can clog your hand if you have too many, and the main problem with Cyber Dragons is not drawing into your Cyber Dragons, honestly. So if you're having that problem, this card doesn't really fix that unless you're in a grindy game. So a 1-of, maybe 2-of, you can debate it. But it's a secret rare, so it's pretty expensive, so it's up to you. Cyber Emergency, it's pretty much a repair plant, but with less targets. It adds any light machine monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, or a Cyber Dragon monster, which is pretty good. It can't search Soldier, unfortunately, But if it gets negated, you can discard a card and add it back, which is really, really cool. It doesn't really come up often. They usually negate Repair Plant because it has more targets. But this thing is a 3-of, hands down. It is. What makes it better than Repair Plant, in my opinion, is you don't need setup for it. You just activate it, search core, use core, search Repair Plant, and then core can Mega Fleet something away. And then Repair Plant will be live, you know. So this thing's a 3-of. Repair Plant's more of a 1 or 2-of now, depending on your build. But this thing really just replaces it. But you still play Repair Plant because you need to search Soldier. You need to search Jizz Kaiju, you need to search Eltonin as fast as you can. As for Cyberload Fusion, don't play it. You're much better off with Overload. Ideally, what this thing is for is to make Rampage, like during the opponent's turn, I think, to destroy back row. But it just flaks on that because it'll be 2100 beater that they'll probably get rid of anyway. But it's alright, I guess, but I would still run Overload. Eternal Evolution Burst, equip it to a Machine Fusion. Already abysmal. Your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during your battle phase. At the end of the damage step, if the equipped monster attacked an opponent's monster, you could banish one Cyber Dragon monster from your graveyard. The equipped monster can attack an opponent's monster again in a row. Your other monsters cannot attack the turn. Don't run this card. It's so situational. Machine Fusion, so it's already bad. So you already have to be doing good for this to work. They can't respond to its attack, which is fine. If it attacked a monster, you can banish the Cyber Dragon. You can attack again on another monster. So you can't really OTK really easily with this unless the monster's already beefy as hell. And your opponent needs to have 2 monsters for you to do this. So, and your other monsters can attack. So you really cannot OTK with this unless your guys are really big, smacking into things that are really small. So don't run this. Cybernetic Overflow. This is a really interesting card. Very polarizing. It's a trap. That's probably why. Banish Cyber Dragons with different levels from your hand, face up on the field, and or graveyard. So pretty much anywhere you have access to. Then destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls. If this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, add 1 Cyber, spell, or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. I really like this card. The idea behind it is you pop it with Rampage Dragon, then you get a search. It is non-targeting destruction, which is really good. So you can just banish your graveyard things, or graveyard Cyber Dragons that you use for Power Bond or Overload, and then just get rid of a bunch of back row or a bunch of monsters, just OTK from there. The problem with that is it does require some setup. You have to set it first. It is searchable, so you know you could get away with running it as a 1-of, maybe a 2-of. I think it's great. I personally don't run it, but I think there's a lot of utility there. The non-targeting destruction and the search, the way it gets its search works with how your deck already plays. It's alright. I think it's good for the Power Bond build, but not the build I'm playing. Alright, last card of the video, we got Cybernetic Revolution. I would like to say we ended with a bang, but we didn't.
You may win this time. Well, this stinks.
Tribute 1 Cyber Dragon, special summon 1 fusion monster that lists a Cyber Dragon monster as material from your Usher deck, but it cannot attack directly. Also destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. You can only activate 1 of this per turn. Basically, you tribute this and summon the Fortress, the new Eternity Dragon. I think that's how that works. It doesn't really do anything in terms of damage output, which is what Cyber Dragons are all about. I guess you can normal summon core, get a search, flip this up, tribute it, get a big monster. I guess it helps you dodge targeting, but because it doesn't fusion summon a monster, I don't think it's worth running. If it does fusion summon a monster for free, if I've got this wrong, you could bring it back with Nova, which will actually add utility to this card. But personally, I still wouldn't run it, because it's mainly for dodging targeting, and to get your big fusions out with as little resources as possible, so it's alright, but I wouldn't run it. The deck with the support is actually pretty fun to play. I've had a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun to play. You have more options, and a lot more negate bait. So if they stop one play, you have a lot more plays after that to work with. Similar to how Fluffles work, where you don't know exactly what to negate, and all your options are wrong, because you have like a million different ways of making the same play. So it's a lot of utility there. It's a lot more fun in my opinion, and it's always fun playing with more shiny cards, you know, because Hertz is like an ultra. Please leave a like. It lets me know that you guys want to see more of this stuff, and it helps the channel a little bit. So yeah, thanks. Don't forget to turn notifications on to know when I'll be uploading. And once again, if you guys want to keep up with all my new deck profiles and all the new stuff I do before it comes out on the channel, please follow my Twitter. I'll have deck lists and thumbnails up before the stuff even comes out or is profiled. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.